Welcome back to another episode of Stretching Boundaries with Elasticity. I'm your host today, Aaron Perlett, and this is actually a very special episode because we are recording it live on tape from Stockholm, Sweden, and I am joined today by Stefan Pettersson. And Stefan is actually one of the world's foremost destination marketers, and we're obviously today going to talk about the market for destination marketing, disruption that's happened in the market over the last decade, and more just learn about what Stefan and his team at Gameng does. So, Stefan, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for joining us in Sweden, huh?
It is.
We've been celebrating midsummer.
It has been an absolute pleasure to be here because I love the Swedish people and the Swedish cultures, and obviously spending time with you. So, tell our audience about what you do at Gameng and what you and your team do.
What we're doing, if I'm gonna put it in in a short sentence, we help destinations, we help organizations, we help companies to try to attract audiences, to help them develop their businesses, often in a very actually sustainable way, a more long-term way. So we try to help them to find what target audience they have and what they're going to show to get them to come.
And I know you spend a lot of time that you invest in sustainable marketing efforts. Explain what that is. Like, what does it mean to be a sustainable destination marketer versus just simply a destination marketer?
Yeah. If you look at destinations all over the world, then I'm talking about tourism. Okay, because often you have this city, you have this region, you have this country, and when you talk about destination, it's actually somewhere you wanna go to it. Okay, so it's a lot about tourism, to visit a place. Okay, and if we look at the traditional way of marketing a destination, it's actually you build a lot of hotels, you have the beach, you have the good atmosphere and everything. You tell everybody to come there. And what happened over the last years is we have this challenge called mass tourism and over tourism, and you create like a friction between people who live there, the people who want to work there, but also with the people who want to visit it. So it's like you're breaking this carrying. The level of carrying capacity, we say.
Yeah. So
that is the traditional way. Yeah.
So you bring up a good point in terms of the changes that have happened in, say, the past 10, 15, 20 years, and the friction that's occurred from the growth in tourism that, say, in the US, let's say a city like Miami or Los Angeles, places where you see a lot of tourism, but even some resort cities or regions that maybe the mass public might not be aware of. But what's the biggest change that you have seen? Because you do this all over the world.
Yeah.
What is the biggest change? Is there a trend line that you're seeing in destination marketing, in the work that you're doing?
First of all, you see a lack of, in many ways, politicians, they are looking for a way to actually get elected one more time. So what you can see as the biggest change now, that is a politician, if I talk about Europe first, they are actually thinking, the people who live there, they're not happy about how we have done the strategy, how to attract people and to market this place. So they have started to look at tourism not as on silo. It's more like it has to do with everyone in the destination, in the city, or in the region. So what they do now is they start to plan for a more long-term development. They are asking a lot more, how can we involve and engage the people who actually live in the area, so we can have a kind of a community-based tourism strategy. So you involve people around. You don't want the money to leak into other countries. You want as much as the money to stay at the destination, so it actually all can benefit from it. And that is one of the biggest changes, I think, when you talk about tourism development.
So obviously that's a change for the better in that you're engaging a broader community in those conversations at the very least, maybe not in the decision-making level, but in the conversations about that, sustainable development. Let me give you kind of an example, and because I know some of our audience, they're used to marketing a product or a service or what have you, but you spend a lot of time thinking about a place and what makes that place unique, and then how that place maybe attracts people from all across the world to come visit. And so let's say I spent a lot of time in the Ozark Mountains at lakes there.
Yeah.
And there are everything from large resorts to small resorts. But if you're a small resort and you don't have a lot of money, and you're in the Ozark Mountains on a lake, how are you thinking about marketing that sense of place and growing the revenue streams that you get from getting people to come and visit and spend money at restaurants and just at your facility there?
That, of course, there is like at the moment, I mean, we have like the competition is global. It's not local anymore because people want to go to different places in the world. Okay, so that is the first thing. So, and when you look at if I use the word spaces, there are a lot of space to actually visit.
Yeah.
So the big question everybody needs to ask to themselves when they have a business is, what if I have a space here, how can I actually create meaning to people to come there? Because if you have a space and you have a meaning, you have a place instead of a space. So you need to actually you need to make out what can I bring, what can I help people with, so they can actually have the solution in my space, because then it's going to be created this attractiveness to go there.
Yeah.
It could, for example, be this magnificent space. You have this water, you have boats, you have activities in the sea, like
which you could find anywhere.
Yeah.
You can find here in Sweden.
Yeah.
But again, they have that in the Ozarks. In the Ozarks. Yeah. But it's fascinating what you're saying about giving something meaning and purpose.
Yeah.
Actually changes it from a space to a place.
Yeah, that is. I think that is the most important. There are some fun pictures. If someone want to Google, they can Google on this a map of every city in the U.S. or a map of every city in Europe, and you see all the same things. The square, the shirts, because if you look at it just straight on the specific of it, it looked the same. But if you go to what is also a part of the change, you start to talk of behavioristic marketing. So you need to tell them, well, this is a place where you can do this, you can feel this, you have this meaning here. So, for example, it could be if you want to like win the trophy within your friends, to have the biggest fish ever. This is the place, and you have this picture of this big fish, and you help those people to come to your place, and you help them to find that spot where it's a possibility to get it. So that is more like you actually create. You create a possibility for a great memory for the people. Okay, so it's not just
painting a picture of what the potential of that place might be.
That's right.
When you approach an engagement about destination marketing, place marketing, what is one of the hardest things that you have as a consultant? Because oftentimes you're brought in as a consultant, and you've also worked for Destination. You and I first met when you were working at Destination Uppsala, which is a large city here in Sweden.
Yep.
What is a hard thing that you've got to deal with when you're dealing with your clients and getting them to understand sometimes that maybe is difficult? Because, I know for me, with my clients, oftentimes it's everybody thinks they're special.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah, of course. Especially politicians, they say like this: our space, our place, our city is the best. And if you ask them why, they're going to say like everybody else. So that is what. But first of all, I think you need to cooperate. that is giving you a stronger tool to market. So if you are in a spot somewhere, there are probably some other people around you that also are interested in being more attractive. So you start to cooperate with them, and that is what I'm called the community-based thing. So you start to your place, you use local staff, local ingredients, local activities that is around. So you start to create a stronger tool for marketing. And why not have instead of have 20 different web pages, maybe you have one to actually get the hang of a strong place brand, to use pictures so everybody's talking the same language, everybody's communicating the same. Yeah, so that creates the possibility. But also you can't just do that. You also need to look at the markets that you want to see. What are the competitors that actually fights about the same target audience or the target group? So you need to play the game in that way to see, okay, what kind of pictures attracts them? What kind of words attracts them? What kind of communication actually give them that? So that is very important.
Understanding your competitive set and what has made those competitors successful in terms of their targeting of an audience.
Yeah, that's right.
I think the key takeaway for our audience today is making a space into a place by giving it meaning.
Yeah, that's right.
Truly, right. Stefan Pettersson of Gameng. You know, at the very beginning, I called him Peterson. It's because I'm an ugly American. Thank you so much for being on Stretching Boundaries of Elasticity. I'm Aaron Perlett. Stefan Pettersson. Thank you. It is a privilege, my friend.
Thank you. And Midsummer was a good way to attract people.
Midsummer is a great attraction tool.
So we use that. It was we don't have it normally. It's just to attract the Perlu.
Just to attract.
Take care.
Thank you.
High five.